Jim, well done today, a massive 3 points. How pleased are you?
Delighted, obviously, with the result. Really pleased with the character again that was shown from the players. Extremely frustrated to find ourselves going in front and then having to go and chase the game again because we've conceded a couple of goals. But I have to defend my players in terms of the second goal. I think we're quite open and quite honest at times when we concede goals, and sometimes you've got to credit the opposition. But the second goal, when anybody watches it back, will see there's a clear block on Marcus Fraser. I think the linesman on that side has got a great view of it. Scott Brown has got only one intention in there, and that's to disrupt Marcus Fraser so that he can free up Ramirez. It's a really well worked set play from Aberdeen's point of view, but I'm hoping the officials see that, and I think if that happened down the English Premier League where there's VAR, then that goal wouldn't have stood, quite simply. But thankfully I don't need to dwell on those types of decisions today like I have done in recent weeks, and I can feel a lot happier about the way the game panned out. Obviously, listen, there's no getting away from the fact that the turning point in the game is Aberdeen going down to 10 men, but I think people will all agree it's not very often that playing against 10 men is easy. When Aberdeen get those two banks of four and make the midfield congested, it can be very hard to break the opposition down. So I've got to give credit to the players. They kept passing, they were very patient, they weren't forcing things, they kept moving it from side to side, waiting for those gaps to appear, and playing those passes when they did, and that's where the goals have came from. So yeah, couldn't be any happier.
How pleased were you with what the players showed in terms of that? You mentioned the red card within 10 minutes, that the team were 3-2 up.
Yeah, well, we had to make the changes. We were playing with two holding midfielders initially, in Ethan and Alan, and Ethan was outstanding. Today I thought he was excellent, thought he done very well, but obviously he's frustrated to come off the pitch. But when we explained to him why we're doing it, we want to put a second striker on, we want to go and put Aberdeen under immense pressure. He understands it, and that's ultimately where the goals and where the space comes from, because we've got two strikers up there to occupy the two centre halves, and there's a bit of a debate going on inside about who's getting that goal between Marcus Fraser and Curtis Main, but Marcus won't thank me for it, but I'm going to give it to Curtis because he's already had one chalked off at Parkhead wrongly, and we all want our strikers to get up and running, so I'm delighted for him, and I think he just about gets a little fraction of his hair on it, and he should get the goal.
Not much of that. In terms of Conor Ronan as well, scores 2 goals today, the assist last week at Easter Road. How pleased have you been with what he's brought to the team since he's come in?
Yeah, there's no surprise in what the wee man brings to the team. That's why I've tried in the last 3 windows to get him. We missed out the Blackpool in one of the windows, we missed out the Grasshoppers last time, and this time round I'm very grateful to Wolverhampton, to Matt Jackson, and to everybody down there for deeming us a good place for Conor to come and continue his development. And he's different class. He's not even, I don't think, 80% fit yet. He's still got a bit of sharpness to come because of the length of time he was out with his injury. That'll probably be his first 90 minutes in, I would imagine, 6 months maybe. And I thought he came through the game really well. He was cramping up at the end. We were asking him to stop running because you're always really scared in case he pulls a calf or something, and then we end up losing him for a month. But he was outstanding, took his goals really, really well, and he's another one that fits into that Jamie McGrath category where I hope Stephen Kenny is watching back home in Ireland and taking note, because Ireland are lacking a little bit of creativity at the moment, and Conor McCarthy is one that could maybe unlock the opposition defences.
I feel like finally getting the rewards for some of the performances over the last week with that 3 points today. Yeah,
I think so. I mean, look, I would never stand here and kind of try and lie to the fans about we've been brilliant. We haven't been brilliant. We have played well in patches of games. We had a really good second half against Dundee United, a good first half against St Johnstone, but I feel in the last 2 weeks against really good opposition, against Hibs and Aberdeen, who finished 3rd and 4th in the table last year. Hibs, Aberdeen are a good side. Scott Brown, Hedges, the boy Ramirez up front's a real handful. So I feel as in the last couple of weeks we're starting to get that bit of consistency in the way that we want to play. We want to get the ball down, we want to pass, we want to be creative, we want to be entertaining for the fans. I'm delighted for them that they've managed to see a 5-goal thriller, and we're on the right end of it, and it gives them all something to go away and enjoy the rest of the bank holiday weekend. But all in all, I have to be satisfied. I think there's still a lot of improvement to come from us. I still think there's a lot of work that we have to do on the training ground to get better, but the boys are willing to do that. You know, they are a really good group, a together group, and you know, they're desperate as much as the rest of us to succeed on the pitch. So now we've got that first win, hopefully that'll be the catalyst to many more.
You mentioned the fans there, just on them. After we go 3-2 up, the place is absolutely rocking. Probably the first time we've really had an atmosphere like that since we've got fans back in. How nice was that?
Yeah, it was great, and I think more games like that and more goalmouth action. I thought both teams actually played quite well, to be honest. I think from a neutral's perspective, if the people are back home watching it on the telly, I would imagine it was a relatively entertaining game. You know, I think it was about 26-27 attempts on goal from both sides. So you know, it was a decent performance from both sets of players. But our fans are really important to us, you know, and I can sense their frustration when we go 2-1 down, because we're all feeling it. But you know, they stuck with the players. You know, there's always going to be one or two that are mumping and moaning, and you know, you hear one or two boos there at half time. But the majority of the fans here are very understanding. They're very knowledgeable about the game, and they stuck with the lads. They drove them on, they encouraged them, and they play a big part. So we're delighted that we were able to give them that victory there to celebrate at the end. And you know, the appreciation that they show to the players at the end is very well received from everybody.
Jim, well done today, and thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, James. Top man.